So you said you were here in Maastricht for the first time a couple of years ago. 10 years, you said?
10 years, maybe longer.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to Carnival.
Okay. Oh, wow. What was that like?
It was crazy because I was like 17.
Yeah.
And so it was a lot. Like in America, you can't drink until you're 21. And yeah, I asked, we didn't have a costume. And so I went to a shop to buy a costume and I didn't realize I was buying a Heineken girl dress. So I like was wandering around Carnival dressed as a Heineken girl.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a total mistake. It was weird.
You're also kind of thrown in the deep at Carnival, experiencing the culture that way.
So intense.
Yeah, and it
so
lasts
much.
forever. I think that goes on for like a week or something.
Yeah.
There's a whole election of the Prince of the Carnival.
Yeah,
and,
the like random Dutch dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have some time off in Amsterdam? Like,
No.
no, you're going. Where are you going tomorrow?
We're driving to London.
Okay, you're driving. All right.
Yeah.
That's a long trip.
It's stupid. Yeah, we have to leave at 7:30.
Okay. Wow. Oh, okay. Short night. Well, it's a short show, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like an early show. Oh, that actually works out then. I wanted to ask because you've toured the US extensively, and this is your first European tour. I think
Yes.
your Berlin show also sold out, right?
Yeah, they booked it. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
cool.
So is it different, like playing like European crowds? Is there a different
Yeah.
experience to it?
Yeah. I mean, it's very different.
How is it different?
In the States, we have, I think, good crowds and people definitely are excited about our music. But here, and maybe it's too because we've never toured here before, but I mean, it's completely surreal. Like playing in Moscow and just this huge crowd of Russian people singing along to the lyrics, you know, like that doesn't happen in the States
No, okay.
for us.
Do you think they're more devoted here to music, or what?
Yeah, or they take the experience way more seriously, or I mean, in Moscow they're like definitely partying, but they were so gleeful or something to like be at the show, and every city has been like that, you know, it wasn't just Moscow, you know. So that's really weird, and it's really surreal. It's like to have someone ask for a selfie. It's like, why?
It's funny.
So yeah, it's just like, so that's a weirder thing. It's like, I don't know. It's very kind and it's like super flattering or something.
Well, I think you're very hyped here. I think a lot of people are very
Yeah.
enthusiastic about your music. That's what I hear around me.
That's definitely, yeah, and so that's like maybe a new experience for Gus and I.
Do you also think that that's a thing in the States where they're just more prone to be interested in things that are foreign?
Like Americans
Yeah.
more, I don't know. I don't think so. I think Americans are just really used to music shows or something.
Okay.
Not to say, maybe like, and that's assuming that Europeans are not, but I don't know. Gus and I have been touring through the States for a long time, and we have this one song that's like very hyped, a song called Pain,
Yeah.
which is completely for no reason that we did, right? So nothing to do with us. It became really popular on YouTube, and I think it's like a very popular in over the ocean on YouTube. And so we'd be like, the first tour we ever went on with that song, we'd be playing in like dive bars in the middle of nowhere to like 2 people, like one of which is a farmer, you know, and then at the same time that video is just like getting really, really popular. I guess I was just trying to describe how different it is. It's hard to describe.
No, I mean,
But-
it's an interesting experience. It must be thrilling, yeah.
It's very thrilling, yeah. I mean, now we have like really great shows in New York and Montreal. Like those are our 2 favorite cities. So, and we'll be on the road again in the States next year. And LA is like one of our
the
favorite
music scene
shows.
there is, yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
So
Yeah.
many good shows going on there.
Yeah.
I read somewhere that you were thinking of moving to either Florida or California.
Yeah.
You wanted to go to a warmer climate. Like,
Yeah.
Is that still something that you're planning on doing?
Yeah, I think right now I'm in a place in my life where I'm a little older and I only have a mom, you know, and so she's getting older. So I don't think I can, we moved up north to be closer to family.
Okay.
We met in Georgia, so that's like. And
Yeah, no,
I
yeah.
dream of Georgia all the time.
Really?
Like being there, yeah. Like I love it so
Okay.
much, but we can't.
Because what made you move from Georgia to Massachusetts?
Gus's mom got very sick,
Okay.
so we were like, and we were ready for a change. We were throwing shows in Savannah, and we were really excited about the shows, and I feel like we were losing energy because not a lot of people had the same kind of excitement. So we're like, let's get out of here and let's go closer to New York. The plan was to move to New York, but we couldn't afford it.
Okay.
So we moved to Massachusetts.
All right.
And now Gus's mom is totally good, and we live in a cabin in the woods. Like, we have a pretty cool life. Yeah.
That must be an inspiring environment as well, like a scenery and setting for music.
It's like a little cabin fevery, but yeah, for sure. I mean, like, it's just like, sometimes I think we get really, it's like very small, and just like being on top of each other all the time. In Georgia, it's different. It was like, I was like, maybe long distance for a little bit too, and that helped a lot with making music.
Okay.
Yeah.
The anticipation and the,
exactly.
Yeah.
The anger, like everything, it's good.
So you were both film students, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you started out as teen dreams where you did prose and you read short stories on stage.
Mm-hmm.
How did that transition come about? Like, was that a natural, organic transition into the music that you make now? What made you decide to evolve into what is now Boy Harsher?
The honest answer is like, I don't really know. Like, something happened where, so we were like courting one another. We're partners. And so I was writing Gus these emails, and they're all like kind of stories, like kind of prosy. And so then we had this idea, because at the same time we're throwing shows together, we had this idea, like, let's try it out in front of people. And we decided to try it out in front of people, and it was really fun, and we played a lot of noise showcases and stuff. We were very much interested in the noise community in the States. So that was, I think, our initial goal, was like, we wanted to be a part of it because we were so inspired by it.
Okay.
And then eventually, for some reason, like, the sounds Gus started making were way more like rhythmic and pattern based, and also meanwhile we broke up, we had like this really whirlwind like love thing. Then we broke up, and it was like really messy, small town, and I moved away.
Oh wow, okay.
And then he slowly started visiting me again.
Did you stop making music in that period as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck you. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's done. And so meanwhile, he's like trying to re-court me while I'm living in Atlanta, and then also trying to get like the band back together.
All right.
So
yeah.
And we did get back together, and we both moved in together in Savannah, and it was like winter and it was so cold, and we recorded Lesser Man.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was the first thing.
Was it good for the creative it's a horrible question to ask, but was it good for the creative process, the breakup?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think we were like, all of those songs are very much about, I mean, I can't speak to Gus, but as the person who writes the lyrics, like, every song was very much about like feeling betrayed or hurt or shook around, or like maybe desiring something that's not good for you or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was definitely kind of like a cathartic experience, maybe.
Yeah, because I know that your music is, I think, by yourselves, but also I mean, the reviews and the magazines speak of like sad dance music.
Yeah.
I think that's a really cool term. I don't think I can think of a single band that's actually, deserves that name right now.
Right.
So it's funny. Is that also then the mood, like melancholia and sadness, where you feel like you're most creative, because you just spoke of the breakup, that was really an inspirational phase?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's happy dance music. So.
Yeah.
And most of the songs are quite sad. I mean, now too that my life feels way more stable than it did back then. You know, I'm writing about other things, like things that I remember. And yeah, you have, or at least I have the tendency just to remember kind of the sad stuff.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
the happy, good moments are so flimsy, you
Yeah,
know, and
totally.
you know, you take them for granted.
Yeah.
It's such a common thing,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I was thinking about it because I meant to bring a camera with me,
Okay.
and I didn't. I totally forgot. Like just a shitty point and shoot. And then it's like, well, I have my phone. I can document anything, and I'm horrible. Like our manager was just like, you know, you need to post on Instagram. And it's like, yeah, I don't. Like I'm really bad at it. And having this device, like this piece of technology where you feel like you can remember the happy moments, I think that makes it
Documenting, yeah.
yeah, but it makes it that much more like flimsy, like you said.
Remember that night you took me away. Went so fast, I flew away. Sky was black.
So how does the filmmaking background that you both have still influence the music today? Because like,
Well, that one is definitely one for Gus a little bit because I know that he's very like score driven.
okay,
Very into composers and like also just developing an arc, right? Like a musical arc, but I can't really speak to that. I mean, for me, it's just another level of inspiration, like cinematic inspiration. Like, what does the sound mean? Like, what does it make me feel like, you know? And to say I went to film school, like, yes, I did, and I wish that I was a filmmaker, you know? I wanted to, like, write, be a screenwriter, but then to do work, I became a professional, like, AD. So I'd work on films, and I think that sucked a lot of film love out of me, if that makes sense.
no, because it becomes more of a job than a passion
Yeah,
and your
just-
hobby. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I can imagine.
And indie, like, filmmaking in New York is, like, heartless, you know?
Yeah?
Yeah, it's like 15-hour days and, like, no love for any department but camera. But, I mean, I met so many amazing people. It's this funny thing where it's like if you're not making it on your own, chances are you're probably gonna like sacrifice certain things you believed about it.
Yeah. I think that's with every job. I write and I do like horrible articles and translations, and it really takes the fun out of it. It's like,
What do you translate?
English, Dutch, Danish.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's cool, but depends
yeah.
on what kind of work you do, you know. So and copywriting and stuff.
Yeah, that's hard. My friend is like, will translate sometimes into Farsi, and I feel
Oh
like,
wow, okay.
but it's poetry. So I think for him, it's like there is something romantic about that.
yeah.
But you're a feeling I can't walk away from.
So your music is you have the film school background. Your music's kind of eerie and haunting and dreamy. Are you inspired by Lynch at all?
Oh yeah, of course.
I always sort of like when I listen to your music, that sentence always sort of pops in my head. Like, isn't it too dreamy when Audrey sort of like does that dance?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite Lynch is probably like Lost Highway.
Yeah.
And I think that film parallels interests that I have, you know, like just like having someone within you that is not fully you and like you can't really trust and
Yeah.
like the violence, like I don't know, the double person experience. So yeah, I love Lynch. I used to probably in film school love him so much more. I probably have a lot of student films that are like
It's so funny.
Lynchian,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think I know a single film student or filmmaker that
Who
hasn't either
doesn't?
done his thesis or a short film inspired or about Lynch. You
Of
know, like
course.
it's funny. Yeah.
Well, and I think there's like definitely some camps. Like there's definitely, at least in the States, or the people I went to school with, like that you either love him or you hate him, and you really like Quentin Tarantino or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you're
yeah.
like really macho and you don't put up with any fantastical stuff. But yeah, Lynch is great. I had like a long period where I really got into like realism, like Andrea Arnold, and then like the weird world of Claire Denis I really loved, but now I don't know. Like I'm not even sure.
Maybe it's the sum of all those things, you know?
Yeah, totally.
That's,
I'm hoping too, like down the line, we'll be able to make more videos. So like,
Yeah.
we'll be able to explore that.
Yeah, because you did a collaboration with Christina from King Woman.
Yeah,
And
she's
then
great.
Tara Jo.
Yeah.
Are those personal friends? Are you inspired by strong women? Like, how did those collaborations
Yeah.
come about? What was the idea behind those videos?
I'm very inspired by strong women, and I find that part of my duty is like wherever we are, whatever we're doing, it's like very, very important for me to celebrate women. Christina, I met her because she was moving to New York, and I was a big fan of her side project, Miserable, and so I kind of randomly invited her to come to a show. She came and saw us play, and we talked for a while, and like just really got along, and she's great. And we just decided it would be fun to do a video with her in it. And so MJ, this also great woman, filmed it and like kind of concept the thing. Yeah, it's like,
Because that video went viral. The
yeah,
promotion, that
it's
was really,
cool.
yeah.
That's like always such a treat when like people get into stuff.
Yeah.
And then Tara Jo Tashna is amazing. She's
Yeah.
just this like, she's a performance artist, she's a choreographer, and she's a dancer, and she's so strong and so brilliant. And then just on top of all of that, like probably the kindest person I've ever met. Like just so easy to talk to, and just like working with Tara Jo was really amazing.
Because you, if I'm not mistaken, you were also working on a short film, Country Girl, with her.
Yeah.
That was halted.
Well, so yeah, what happened is I received a grant, like I applied for a grant to do a short film, and then I cast Tara Jo, and we like kind of worked on the concept together, but initially it was this short thing I wrote, and then it evolved, and then it was great. And production weekend, it's like so heartbreaking. My stepdad died very suddenly.
sorry.
No, it's okay. It was like way more just like this shocking thing. So everything stopped, and you know, on top of it just being so traumatic for my mother and just like a miserable thing for us as a unit, Jerry was like our man, you know, like he was a really good guy because my mom's insane, right? So it's like, whoa. On top of all that though, the grant was kind of extended only for that weekend, like all the gear rental and all the lodging rental and just everything kind of went to something that was canceled.
Yeah.
And then, so we had some footage, but really not a lot. And a year later, because I couldn't even look at it, because I felt very guilty. It was like confusing what death will do to you, you know? And so it's just this like heartbreaking situation, whatever.
Yeah.
But a year later, Tara Jo was like, let's do something with this. And then meanwhile, we know we have an album we're releasing, so we just decided to kind of redo our idea and make it for the video.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Which in the end, I'm very happy about, because with the short film, it probably would have stayed very small, and not to say like this video is so huge, but to be able to showcase Tara Jo's work in a bigger way was awesome.
Yeah.
So that was like a cool silver lining.
Yeah, no, I was familiar with her, and I really, really like her stuff. I think she's a great artist.
That whole group, like we just performed with her buddies Flucked. They're fucking crazy. They're so good, and they all together run this space called Oceanfront in New York, and it's like an experimental performance studio space, and I'm really into like what they're all doing.
Because how far are you from New York?
Like with no traffic, it's like 2 hours and 45 minutes, but there will always be traffic. So it was more like 3 and 30.
No, but it's good. You have the best of both worlds, kind of. You can be in the thick of it.
Yeah.
Within no time.
Exactly. It's definitely part of what, like, why it works out.
Yeah.
We will find our way.
I wanted to ask about the videos and dancing, because I'm personally really into dancing, and I think your music lends itself perfectly for dance. So is that maybe something that you would be interested in doing in the future, also because of the cinematic aspect, and then maybe with a dance company or individual dancer and have that come together?
Yeah, what do you mean? Like having like a dancer come along with us on tour? Or?
Oh, that would be interesting as well, but I mean more as like like the video aspect, because you sort of did a similar thing with Tara
Yeah,
Jo.
like
And
shooting
yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm not sure what is in the future for the videos, but I think to have to document some type of performance would be really, really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are like multiple drag performers that use our songs. Yeah, and that's one is called, her name is Louisiana Purchase. She's based in Austin.
Okay.
She always performs to Pain and will send me videos, and that's so cool.
Oh, wow.
And then another one is based in Cleveland. Her project is called Him Hun, but she also like records her own music and stuff. So, I mean, it's really righteous. It's cool. Like I don't mind that at all. Like I want people to use their music in that way.
How does that feel to hear? Because you're performing with Neon Lies tonight.
Yeah.
And I actually had a talk with him earlier this year, and I remember him telling me that you were one of the bands that he draws his influences from. Is that?
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, but isn't that funny or interesting to hear as a band?
Yeah.
This is your first European tour, and then you come here and you hear that people over here are actually influenced by you.
Yeah, I mean, we played a show with him in Budapest, and it was really cool, and it was like a great set. So it's like really kind of humbling to hear that. I don't know, I don't know how to do it or how to digest like kind of that information yet.
Yeah.
Like it's fun. It's like for the performers who will perform my song like as a drag persona, it's like that's probably like better. Like for me, I'm like, you should go to that show because like that's probably very entertaining.
Do you have stage fright?
Not necessarily stage fright, but sometimes, I mean, yeah, I guess it is fright, but it's also like wondering, you like always wonder if it's like engaging enough or something, you know, because being engaging is like the most fundamental thing.
Yeah.
For me at least, like we don't play like shoegaze, we aren't like trying to disconnect, you know, like.
Funny because I saw, I can't say this because it's not nice to the band, but I saw a big shoegaze band the other day, and my friend and I were just like, it's so detached. It's like, it's really like, we might as well listen to the record. It's really weird to see that live performance and expect something else when that's not happening.
I think that's why too I like was drawn very much to like noise music or whatever. It's like a lot of the stuff I was seeing, especially in the South, right? Because the South is not New York. It's not like, it doesn't have like this cool character or something.
Yeah.
It feels like this really awesome, desperate way to connect with your audience. And that's, to me, is really fascinating.
Yeah, because you go pretty wild on stage and you're very physical as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless I'm like feeling weird. And then I'm like, I don't know what to do.
It could add to the performance. I mean.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. For sure.
Are you working on new material at the moment?
We are.
Okay.
We've just been not home enough.
Yeah.
But we'll be home soon. Yeah, we'll be home, and then we have like a window because we're doing a short West Coast thing in January and then a big thing in March. So we have this window that we have to really like bungle in.
It might be in January, February. You really want to come to that 28th of January show, isn't it? The 28th of January. I don't know I think I know the exact date.
Sunday.
Yeah, it's I haven't booked my ticket last minute, but
You
I would
should
love
come.
to. I know I want to. I miss LA.
Let us know,
I
yeah.
know,
Because
yeah.
the next day we're gonna go to we're gonna drive out to Joshua Tree, and because there's this
I still haven't been
tattooist,
there, yeah.
so you should come with us to Joshua
Oh my God, I'd
Tree.
love that.
That would be fun.
Let's do it.
Gus is gonna get a little tattoo. We're gonna have some fun.
Cool. Oh, I'll keep that in mind. Now I really have to book that. It's also just winter here's brutal, so it would be nice to just get that done. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I hate winter.
And I was in the Lord.